Yo, what's up, guys? I've been using this team for quite a bit, but let's actually fully limit test it during the inter-server arena, because most of the time I just Feng Yang a lot of these. The things that will be super high on tankiness or just have a Leo in there or something like that, I will still Feng Yang that. But let's kind of limit test this. And a lot of people did ask me, how are the things runed? So let's start off with that. You do need a pretty crazy set to actually have this Chilling and this Draken Warrior move. Even, like, the Draken Warrior is even harder. But let's start off with the Grogan. Grogan is not going to be fully in tune, but since I have the stun of the Zhongshan Lao, I'm fine with that. So this is some crit damages max both sides. Zhongshan Lao is going to be in tune. It is a plus 190. It has double shield to mess up Amduats and Jins and those kind of annoying things. And it is a 22 speed increasing effect on a 28 speed increasing effect. On the other side, we have a Chilling. The Chilling is on will and a 232 with speed increase or additional damage by speeds. And yeah, pretty fast set already, but this is not the fastest set that I'm actually using. This is the fastest set I'm using, which is a 234. And this one has speed increasing effect as well. I only have 45 speed increasing effect. I could maybe slow this down a little bit and up the Chilling a little bit by speed. Or maybe not even, because the Chilling being at this speed, getting 40 speed extra, technically this Chilling is looking at a 272 extra speed. So to keep that thing up with that is pretty darn difficult. So therefore the speed increasing effects are must. So that's a very solid fast set right there. We're fighting annoying shit such as this dude over here. I definitely don't need that much speed to outspeed this, but I'm just gonna be limit testing this one team against everything, and we're just gonna see how this would work and if it even works, because that's also the big question. Of course, I could get messed up by missing strips, death breaks, and all of that good stuff, but we're just gonna see how good this team is in a scenario where something like this is all possible. So first hit, we nearly kill something, but not fully. If we clear from here, we do clear from here, you go for your skill. But since you're stunned, you cannot go for your skill, and that is a clear on the first team already. And we're just gonna go through all of those teams and just see where we kind of cross the line of where it's not possible anymore. This one, same thing. I think I would have rather just used the Tiana plus something on this, but once again, we're just limit testing this team over here. Do get all of the strips. If you get all of the strips, they're mostly golden, because that's where we get all of the stuns in. That's where we get all of the damage in. Grogan also by far is, in my opinion, best unit for this whole shenanigans. Simply because you get the double hit and you have the anti-revive. Talisman might be a little bit better, yeah, but then again, you don't really have that. Okay, so in the case of this, I think that this is a little bit too much of annoying nonsense, where your passive could mess me up, your passive could mess me up, your Bruiser fight could mess me up, you could mess me up, that I would rather just Feng Yang and auto this. Like, in honesty, there's pretty much no reason for me not to just say Feng Yang auto, so I will skip that one with this team, and that's where we kind of also draw the line for the limit testing on that's like, yeah, you just don't want to do that. Moving on to the next one over here. Going in, that Triton seems to be pretty fast, but you can see how much we lapped that by the speed increasing effect. You also see that the Grogan would not lap this, so we have to go for stuns. But if we don't stun the Triton, which is kind of unlikely for this thing, we still lap the other two. And still lapping the other two still kind of makes it fine that even if the Triton goes for a pushback, the other two are still stunned. So there's a lot of safety mechanics in this kind of team. So in this case, we do have you over here that's annoying. We do have you that's here that's over annoying. But your skill will always land on you that already took a turn. So I don't really give a shit. So I'm just still gonna send it. Also, this is definitely a team that a Feng Yang auto would absolutely clear the living shit out of. But in this case, as mentioned, we're limit testing this team, so you go for that. Totally don't mind. I even outspeed that Anduat. That is a pretty darn slow Anduat, or maybe it's just unruined for the current occasion, I don't know. But yeah, from here, easy clear once again. In most cases, I recommend people to go more for a Bruiser fight in the inter-server arena, at least if you care about getting all your hits in. But this is also just a showcase of what if we were to actually go fast and clear all of that. This is actually a pretty annoying team. This unit is particularly pretty annoying. However, this team has not that much damage output. If you put your Vermos of your own over here, you will probably win guaranteed. Like this the whole team doesn't have that much damage, plus it doesn't have any form of sustain. And not having any form of sustain, a Veramos would absolutely clear the living shit out of this. Just Veramos, Leo, Feng Yang, Alaya, and you would absolutely clear this. But this is a little bit of a fast clear, as we can see over here, man. This team is... I would pretty much classify this as the strongest combination for LDs out there. Ooh, this one over here, though. Your passive could mess me up. Your passive could mess me up. I cared a little bit too much about my wins to send this thing in. If it was an arena rush, I would have probably still sent it. If I really needed to hit this guy. But in this case, this team is so weak to Feng Yang Leo that it would be a waste for me to hit it like this. This, however, is a team this is actually the team I classified as the strongest in the arena defense video. And killing this with a Feng Yang Leo Alaya, you're gonna absolutely freaking die. You do not want to fight this. This team is so crazy strong, but there's only one proper counter to this, actually, which is a Chilling, which we have exactly ruined already because Chilling doesn't interact with the Tianlang. And we can potentially outspeed this. But if this thing is super fast, it could still be an issue if it's swift. So this is potentially the strongest team out there. But let's see if we can actually fully outspeed this. Ooh, he is pretty darn fast. Let's see if that's good enough. We are good enough to outspeed. In this case, do we go for the S3? I think I would start lapping enough turns after that. I could go for an S2 right away. But that would give bar to the Tianlang if I don't push back. What is the best choice? No, I think I just sent the S3. If this thing is Nemesis, it could be kind of an issue. Okay, that didn't Nem enough, and we have the speed increasing effects, which are very important to actually clear that. And we clear the strongest defense that I mentioned as strongest defense out there. However, I think, honestly, that this is the only team actually proper killing this. Like, there's pretty much nothing proper killing this, because this team is just crazy strong. This one over here, I feel like I have to Feng Yang Leo Alaya that as well. Well, no, it's only you messing me up, kind of. He could go by the Pontus RNG, but we have a Chilling for the late fight. I'll give this a try. This is kind of on the edge of, like, would I normally like to hit this? This is pretty weak to a Feng Yang Leo Alaya, because in the end, it simply just doesn't have a death break. But we have the strip chance of you, which is annoying. But you stripping the right thing is kind of low by odds. So it's not the highest of chance where you would strip, like there's a shield over there, there's the 3 other buffs. And then from there, it is definitely doable. I could get slightly messed up if he strips the crit and I start miscritting, of course. But in the end, this team will prevail against that most of the time. During Arena Rush, I would absolutely hit that. This is also one that's a little bit more dangerous for a Feng Yang Leo Alaya to hit, because of pushbacks plus dots and those kind of mechanics. In this case, I would probably go for a Seimei style with a unit that just cannot be pushed back, or even is pushing up my team a little bit more. And then it would still be a Leo based on that, and then it would be a relatively easy clear from them. Units that make you not get pushed back, for example, like a Lucia or something like that. Geldnir, also once again something that's you would probably use a slower team against, because you don't need this much speed to outspeed this, so just the Tiana would definitely survive. But I kind of just want to see, I'm so happy that shield runes don't work on this Gandalf thingy, because that would be making my life a living hell. Okay, this team is properly tanky, and it insta-procs on turn 1, which isn't great. Let's take you out, let's go for pushbacks. That's also the strong thing about this team. This team has so much mechanics where it's just the cleanup is crazy strong as well. So if you take like 4 turns right now, I would potentially kind of get in an issue scenario. But look at how much speed my units are rocking. So right now, this is half. This probably doesn't kill. Oh, it does kill. Well, then I cannot show. But yeah, as you can see, I did outkill, but in the end, I still killed, which is kind of crazy. Ooh, this thing, Pony. Pony could be pretty annoying if I miss some stunts and I miss some annoying things. But I'm gonna send it. This one is also kind of on the edge. I would rather just go in with, like, my Feng Yang Leo Alaya kind of stuff. Because Lamilia is not gonna kill if I'm using a Seimei or anything of that kind of shape or way. So let's hope that we stun all death break all. We did stun and death break most. Please crit. We did not really get the most amount of crits out there that I would have liked to see. Okay, question right now. I think I'm actually gonna kill you. you are going to be annoying for a bit. Okay, that's actually the least annoying thing you could have done out of everything, not gonna lie. Because the Amelia is the only one that can actually kill me. Like, any of the other units, they're annoying, but they don't really kill me. So, utilizing that value, it's still kind of fine to hit it, even if things go a little bit wrong. But in the end, I did have most of the damage output on the 3 units on the right, which was the important part. This one over here, also, once again, a team, you definitely want to chilling this. You could Bruiser it with, like, heavy minus light, but that is also kind of testing your luck of how strong things are on the enemy side. And that's also definitely why I don't really like Nefties for a defense these days, because outspeeding it with a chilling is just too simple. And even outspeeding it with a Kabila would be easy, but then you, of course, have the other issue. This also very strong team, would not really like to Bruiser it, because at some point, this thing next to a Gojo is actually so goated, because this thing has the, it has suppression, it has slows, I think, in there somewhere. It pushes back your attack bar. Yeah, it has the slow in here, so you're gonna get slowed, attack bar's gonna get pushed back, you get the irresistible, and then he also provides immunity for when you finally get your turn, you cannot even do shit. So, therefore, I would definitely classify him as best speed lead for defense. And also a thing I don't really like to Bruiser in the first place. Because even if you put like a Tetra next, or like a Tetra against that, it's still definitely going to be an annoying and an issue to hit that. But chilling outspeeding makes it a lot easier. In this case, there's no TL length, so you can also go for a simple outspeed on the sense of a Kabila, which is a lot easier to tune. This one is kind of the free-to-play version of that. It's a little bit weaker, but also placing a turn 2 comp against this is a little bit deadly because of the amount of pushbacks. She has more pushbacks than the Gojo has. I think that this thing is also Vio, looking by the speeds of how much it's giving. I'm not sure if I were to outspeed that. Yeah, I outspeed it because it's Vio. If it was Swift, it would have outsped me. But then stripping all of this is kind of hard for it in the first place. So if we clear at least a few, we can definitely clear the rest later on. So, and if you do as one, you do absolutely nothing. I still feel like that defenses shouldn't derp this much, man. Like, sure, defenses get upgrade for Vios, at least that's how it feels like. But I feel like make it more fair for Vios and make it where defense just don't derp like 6 times as one in a row. This thing, I definitely don't want to use this against that. Annoying passive, annoying passive, annoying passive, annoying passive. That's where I draw the line. Well, you're technically inactive, but you're more passive than active, I would say. This thing, that's a pretty nasty team as well. I would say Feng Yang, Leo, Liafoot, because if this thing was the Driana, it would have actually been better, I would say. It would probably lack a little bit more damage, but it would have probably also been better. But then again, is it good enough to eat the Draken Warrior team with the Grogan and the Zhongzheng Lauer? And the Chilling? Potentially, not really. This team is just simply too freaking strong. And now we can clear the whole freaking team. I'm also so happy that this thing didn't get a 100% bar, but just gets an additional turn. Otherwise, TL would really mess up his gut. This thing as well, I land 2 debuffs. Therefore, I wouldn't do any damage through to this thing. Definitely a skip right there. Definitely also Super Feng Yang Leo, a Liafoot, if you were to ask me. Maybe if it puts like Heavy Destroy on there, it could be annoying. This one is one of those, this one is kind of on the edge where I feel like this is too weak on damage output. Like, sure, you have this thing, sure, you have that thing. But if you put a Tetra against this, Tetra is sure, well, like, sure, it has the value in there that you get 2-turn Oblivion and stuff. But at some point, he's not going to do that much damage. And by him not dealing that much damage, I think you can just out-sustain it, just outweight the provokes, outweight everything, and then you're kind of good to go from there. So if you go Veramos, Tetra, and then you go some other units next to that, then you're already good to go. So I missed the stun over there in that case, but yeah, doesn't really matter all too much. But yeah, definitely go fast units, go Tetra. You could still go Leo, but Leo doesn't have that much value. Just Veramos, Tetra, he doesn't have any form of sustain. And then just 2 units that could get some bar or cut in or be annoying or whatnot. Like there's a whole bunch of options out there. Easy clear for that one. This thing over here does have US annoying value, but we did already showcase we can kind of hit those. Like, these are not the biggest of issues to hit. Once again, this is also kind of on the edge where I would say maybe just bring in a Tiana Galleon, because there's not too much of a speed contesting from that Tianlang. You could trap Tianlang by placing a Swift Tianlang, but fun fact, pretty much no one does. So if you're a Tianlang owner and you want to kind of trap your Tianlang, Swift Tianlang is maybe what you should be looking for. Another one of these over here. Also, this team I would definitely say is an anti-cleave team, potentially, because if you Bruiser this, there's absolutely no way that you would ever lose this. Because this team, Giselle doesn't have that much damage output. Giselle needs to proc an insane, ungodly amount to actually get towards any killing potential. But I guess that all of those Gandalf-looking teams are more just whatever, like for people that are lazy and they just want to hit it like that. Ooh, okay. Definitely a team I should absolutely go for a Bruiser fight on, because this team actually doesn't have that much going on and is potentially kind of slow and has a lot of chance for RNGing if things go wrong. But we have a Draken Warrior that's been very consistent on strips thus far, so I think I'm just gonna send it. Hellfest could be a little annoying as well, but let's see how far we can bring that. That's kind of annoying. That is definitely kind of annoying. That is also kind of annoying. I think... what is the best case in this right now? I think I'll just take you out as a first. Let's go for heal blocks. Potentially push back on the left. Okay, did not fully take you out as of yet. Let's take you out because you are the main damage dealer and the main thing that's going to be annoying. Can we crit and kill this? Nope. Okay, that's too bad. Holy ground. Sure thing. Let's hit this. This thing might be 100 rest and therefore a little bit annoying as well. Can we steal some of that shit? We take that out. That's good. I think that you still have skills available at some point. Can go for another round of S3. So yeah, that's definitely where I would say it's probably better to nuke some of those teams than full on Bruiser it like this. But sometimes gotta take a little bit of chances, huh? Okay, wait, he still had immunity up. Okay, we go for that skill, we go for that skill, and yep, take him down. Okay, that was a little bit dangerous. Bruisering this, he did not have that much of damage output. And if they are low on damage output, most of the time you just want to Bruiser things, right? This one, same thing. Feng Yang Leo Laya doesn't have that much damage output because there's one death break, but the death break unit is potentially a lot slower than the rest. Okay, we miss over here. Let's see how much you can do. So we have an S2. S2 does nothing. And then we can go on with our day. It's simple as that. If you were to S3, like her strips are pretty inconsistent. The odds of her stripping the Grogan, sure. But then the two other units still stunned. So easy as that. That's why I just love the Song Shalao. A lot of people also ask, what is the replacement for Song Shalao? Well, the best one-to-one replacement is, I would say, going for a Meddling Cookie Dark. Because Meddling Cookie Dark can go for strips, multi-hits, and pushbacks. It is not a stun. Stun is a lot better. But it is still the same idea of multi-hits and doing something on top of the multi-hits. And I think that he's pretty much the only one easy one-to-one replacement for that. So Meddling Cookie Dark or Truffle if you have like the Summoners War original version. Replacement for Grogan is a Zyros, very simply said. Then we're already at the last hit, so I am recording for 18 minutes right now. I did do a little bit of a yapping at the start and a little bit of a yapping in between. But we pretty much cleared, well, I would say 20 teams in 20 minutes with this, which is absolutely insane and goated. That's just, wow. Yep. Yep, that's insane. So how many teams did we not hit? We only did not hit 4 teams. So those 4, I will Feng Yang, Leo, Alaya this, and I would definitely beat that over there. That shouldn't be any issue. If I want to be anti-revive, which I think I will do in this case, I will place a Mephisto on the 4th slot. And that team doesn't have any damage output, so I don't care. This thing, Feng Yang, Leo, Alaya with a Seimei or something like that. This thing, I think I will go for the same thing with the Mephisto. And this thing is also Feng Yang, Leo, Alaya style. And then I just put a Seimei in the final slot. Or I just put a Veramos in there. Like, I think, honestly, Veramos would probably do better because of the cleanses against you. So, yeah, that's pretty much all of that. I shouldn't be losing any of those. I hope you did enjoy this video. Maybe you learned a thing or two about what is good for defense or good for offense or those kind of things. We definitely can see that these units are pretty darn strong altogether. But then again, if you want to go for the chilling setup, as I showcased, I'm using 2 plus 230 sets over there, which is maybe not the easiest for people to get out there. And we're going to be pulling 1 LD scroll. Let's see if the 1 LD scroll is my lucky LD scroll. Potentially not. Probably not. But hey, you never know. All you need is 1 scroll. Oh, we actually have 2 scrolls. 2 scrolls sometimes, and otherwise, you get absolutely nothing. Well, either out, that's that. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.